Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling drained, frustrated, and questioning yourself? No matter what you said, they twisted your words. No matter how calm you stayed, they made you the villain. You try to explain, but they manipulate the situation. You stay quiet, and they push harder. You defend yourself, and somehow you become the villain. This is the exhausting cycle of dealing with a narcissist. They play games, provoke reactions, and make you question yourself. But today you will learn how to break free. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to say and how to say it to make sure a narcissist never dares to mess with you again. More importantly, you will learn how to maintain your composure, control your reactions, and stand firm in your power. This is not just a communication strategy. It is a shift in how you carry yourself. The ancient Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, mastered the art of emotional resilience. They understood that power lies not in arguing with difficult people, but in remaining unshaken by their tactics. A narcissist thrives on emotional responses. They need to see you react to feeling control. But what if you stopped giving them what they want? Today you will learn how to use silence, precision, and confidence to remove their power. You will learn how to speak in a way that leaves them frustrated and forces them to back off. Think about the last time this happened to you. How did it make you feel? Frustrated? Angry? Confused? You tried to keep your composure, but they kept pushing. You tried to walk away, but they pulled you back in. But what if this time you did something different? What if, instead of reacting, you took away their power? Understanding narcissists, why you cannot win with logic. The first thing you need to understand is that you cannot win an argument with a narcissist. Not because you are wrong, but because they are not interested in the truth. A narcissist does not care about facts. They care about control. They manipulate conversations to create confusion. They twist your words to fit their narrative. They provoke you to make you look like the problem. Seneca once said that we do not get angry because of injustice itself, but because we feel disrespected. A narcissist exploits this by making you feel unheard, unimportant, and misunderstood. They will lie without hesitation. They will deny things they have said, even if you have proof. They will change the subject when they are losing. They will project their faults onto you. This is not a rational adult you are dealing with. This is an insecure person wearing a mask of superiority. They want you to react emotionally because that is where they regain control. If you get angry, they will call you unstable. If you defend yourself, they will say you are overreacting. If you stay silent, they will accuse you of being passive-aggressive. No matter how much you explain, they will twist the truth. No matter how much you defend yourself, they will shift the blame. And in the end, it is always you who walks away feeling drained, doubting yourself, wondering what just happened. You might think that if you just explain yourself better, they will finally understand. But that moment never comes. They are not listening to understand. They are listening to manipulate. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself. Instead, live in such a way that no one would believe them. A narcissist thrives on dragging you into their chaos. The more you engage, the more power you give them. Their goal is not to solve the problem. Their goal is to keep you emotionally trapped. When you are constantly defending yourself, you are playing by their rules. And they always change the rules. They will pretend to be the victim. They will turn others against you. They will rewrite history to make themselves look innocent. When you finally see that their approval is meaningless, something shifts. You stop explaining. You stop justifying. And that is when you take your power back. You stop expecting fairness. You stop explaining yourself to someone who only wants to distort your words. You do not need to prove anything. You are not here to seek their validation. You are here to reclaim your peace. Instead of trying to change their mind, you change your response. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When dealing with a narcissist, the best way to win is not to play their game. This is not about giving up. This is about rising above. It is time to shift your focus. Instead of fighting to be understood, focus on protecting your peace. Instead of seeking justice from someone who does not care about it, focus on mastering your own reactions. The first step is to stop believing that logic and reasoning will work with a narcissist. They are not looking for truth. They are looking for control. Once you understand this, you gain the first real advantage. You stop trying to win them over, and you start winning back your freedom. The core principle of Stoicism: mastering your emotions and holding your ground. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control others, but you can always control yourself. This is the key to dealing with a narcissist. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if someone insults you or treats you unfairly, the real question is not what they did, but how you choose to respond. A narcissist feeds on your emotional reactions. They provoke you because they need a response. The moment you show frustration or anger, they feel victorious. If you try to defend yourself, they twist your words. If you raise your voice, they accuse you of being unreasonable. If you ignore them, they play the victim. The only way to win is to remove their source of power. That source is your emotional reaction. A narcissist cannot handle a person who remains calm. They thrive on emotional chaos, but they struggle when faced with complete indifference. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in our imagination than in reality. A narcissist will try to make you imagine that you need their approval, that you owe them an explanation, that you must defend yourself. But these are illusions. You do not need their validation. You do not owe them anything. The moment you stop reacting, they lose control over you. This does not mean you should tolerate their behavior. It means you should stop letting their behavior affect you. You can acknowledge what they say without giving them the reaction they want. For example, if they criticize you, you can simply say, "I hear you." If they insult you, you can respond with, "You are entitled to your opinion." If they demand an explanation, you can say, "I do not feel the need to explain myself." Then you stop talking. You let the silence speak for itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote that when you wake up in the morning, you should remind yourself that you will meet people who are selfish, arrogant, and dishonest. But none of them can harm you unless you allow them to. This is where most people fail. They expect a narcissist to be reasonable. They expect fairness. They hope for a moment of understanding. But this moment never comes. The Stoics understood that expecting others to change is a waste of time. The only thing that matters is how you respond. You cannot control their words, but you can control your silence. You cannot control their actions, but you can control your presence. A narcissist may try to pull you into an argument. They may use guilt, blame, or manipulation to get a reaction. But if you stay calm, they will be the ones who feel powerless. They will accuse you of being cold. They will call you difficult. They will try to make you feel guilty. But you do not need to justify yourself. You do not owe them your energy. Epictetus said that when someone insults you, you have two choices. You can take it personally and suffer, or you can remain indifferent and be free. This is not about avoiding conflict. It is about standing your ground in a way that leaves them with nothing to fight against. Once you master this, you become untouchable. How to talk to a narcissist. Effective communication strategies. The way you communicate with a narcissist determines whether they continue their manipulation or leave you alone. It is not just about what you say, but how you say it. A narcissist expects you to react emotionally. They expect you to explain yourself, defend your actions, or get angry. The key is to do the opposite. The first rule is to keep your words short and direct. The less you say, the less they can twist. The more emotionless you sound, the less satisfaction they get. For example, if they try to criticize you, instead of defending yourself, simply say, "I see." If they demand something unreasonable, instead of explaining why you cannot, just say, "No, that does not work for me." The second rule is to never engage in arguments. A narcissist thrives on endless debates that lead nowhere. If they accuse you of something, resist the urge to defend yourself. Instead, say, "That is your opinion." Then stop talking. The third rule is to stay calm. A narcissist feeds on your frustration. If you react, they will keep pushing. But if you remain completely unbothered, they will grow frustrated instead. Marcus Aurelius wrote that external events are not what disturb us. It is our interpretation of those events that cause distress. A narcissist wants you to interpret their words as an attack, so you feel the need to fight back. But you can choose to see their words as meaningless noise. One of the most powerful techniques is to use silence. When a narcissist says something offensive, instead of reacting, just pause. Look at them for a moment and then move on without a word. This confuses them because they expect a reaction. If you need to respond, do it with neutral phrases like, "I hear you, that is interesting," or "I will think about it." These phrases give them nothing to work with. A narcissist wants to control the conversation. They want to push you into an emotional reaction. But when you refuse to engage, they lose interest. Seneca said that nothing is more honorable than a mind that remains unshaken. When dealing with a narcissist, your strength lies in not being moved by their words. Some people believe they need to explain themselves to make the narcissist understand. This is a mistake. A narcissist does not listen to understand. They listen to find weaknesses they can exploit. If they demand an explanation, do not give one. Instead say, "I do not feel the need to explain myself." Then leave it at that. If they try to make you feel guilty, say, "You are entitled to feel that way." Then let the silence do the work. The more neutral and detached you are, the more powerless they become. Epictetus taught that you should not worry about what others think of you, because their opinions do not define you. This is crucial when dealing with a narcissist. Their approval does not matter. Their perception of you is irrelevant. What matters is that you hold your ground and refuse to be manipulated. Once you communicate this way consistently, they will realize you are no longer an easy target. Applying it in real life, handling specific situations. Knowing how to respond to a narcissist is one thing. Applying it in real situations is another. You need to be prepared because a narcissist will test your boundaries in different ways. The first situation is when they try to provoke you. They may insult you, criticize you, or say something offensive just to get a reaction. If they say you are always so difficult, the wrong response is to argue or explain yourself. The right response is to say, "That is your opinion." Then stay silent. If they say no one likes you because of how you act, do not defend yourself. Just say, "Interesting." Then walk away. The second situation is when they make unreasonable demands. They expect you to comply without question. If you resist, they will pressure you, guilt-trip you, or make you feel obligated. If they say, "You have to help me with this," instead of explaining why you cannot, simply say, "No, I am not available." If they insist, repeat yourself calmly. Do not offer explanations. The less you say, the less they can argue with. The third situation is when they play the victim. They may act like they are hurt to make you feel guilty. They may pretend they are suffering because of you. If they say, "I cannot believe you would do this to me after everything I have done for you," do not apologize. Do not try to comfort them. Just say, "I understand you feel that way." If they say, "You are really hurting me right now," say, "That is not my intention, but I cannot control how you feel." Then stop talking. The fourth situation is when they gaslight you. This means they try to distort reality and make you doubt yourself. If they say, "I never said that," even when you know they did, do not argue. Say, "That is not how I remember it." Then let it go. If they say, "You are just imagining things," respond with, "I trust my own memory." Then refuse to engage further. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you should not waste time arguing with people who refuse to see reason. If someone is committed to misunderstanding you, nothing you say will change that. The fifth situation is when they try to make you angry. They will push your buttons on purpose to get a reaction. If they say, "You are such a failure," the worst thing you can do is react emotionally. Instead, look at them and say, "If that is what you think," then walk away. If they say, "No one respects you," do not try to prove them wrong. Just say, "I am fine with that." Then move on. Seneca wrote that a wise person does not let others control their emotions. A narcissist only has power if you allow them to affect your state of mind. The key to handling a narcissist is not to overpower them, but to be unaffected by them. When you respond calmly and with confidence, they lose their ability to control you. Once they realize they cannot manipulate you, they will move on to someone else. Your stand, the power of silence and stability. A narcissist expects you to react. They expect you to argue, defend, or explain yourself. They thrive on emotional chaos and manipulation. The moment you engage, they win. Marcus Aurelius wrote that people can only harm you if you allow their words and actions to disturb your mind. This is the foundation of true strength. It is not about controlling others. It is about mastering yourself. A narcissist feeds on attention. When they provoke you and you react, they feel powerful. When you explain yourself, they twist your words. When you defend your actions, they find new ways to manipulate you. But what if you refuse to engage? What if you stop playing their game? When you remain calm and silent, you disrupt their entire strategy. They do not know what to do when their usual tactics fail. They expect drama, and when they do not get it, they feel powerless. Some people think that silence is a sign of weakness, but in reality, it is the ultimate sign of strength. When you choose silence over reaction, you show that their words hold no weight. You show that you are in control of yourself. If they insult you, pause for a moment. Say nothing. Let them sit in their own discomfort. If they accuse you of something, look at them and remain still. If they try to pressure you, refuse to respond. This makes them uncomfortable because they rely on your reaction to fuel their behavior. Without it, they are left with nothing. Seneca wrote that you should never waste energy on people who are not worth your time. Your focus should be on maintaining your inner peace, not on proving yourself to those who refuse to see the truth. A narcissist will not accept this easily. They will push harder. They will try to provoke you even more. They will test your limits, hoping you will break. But if you remain firm, they will eventually give up. This is not about winning an argument. This is about making yourself untouchable. When they realize they cannot affect you, they lose interest. They move on. It takes discipline. It is natural to want to defend yourself when you are attacked. It is tempting to prove them wrong, to set the record straight. But this only gives them more opportunities to manipulate you. Instead, train yourself to remain indifferent. When they criticize, let it pass like wind through an open window. When they blame you, remind yourself that their words are meaningless. Epictetus taught that other people's opinions are none of your concern. You are responsible for your own mind, not theirs. The hardest part of this process is breaking the habit of reacting. Most people are conditioned to defend themselves, to explain their actions, to fight back. But none of these responses work against a narcissist. If they cannot manipulate you emotionally, they lose their power. This is why silence and detachment are your greatest weapons. Imagine a narcissist trying to provoke you and receiving nothing in return. No reaction, no frustration, no validation of their tactics. They will eventually move on to someone else. A narcissist cannot manipulate someone who does not engage. They cannot control someone who remains calm and unrestrained. The key is not to suppress your emotions, but to redirect your energy. Instead of wasting it on a narcissist, focus on yourself. Build your confidence. Strengthen your mindset. Protect your peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote that true power comes from within. No one can take your peace unless you give it away. But silence is not just about not speaking. It is about how you carry yourself. Your posture, your expression, your presence all send a message. If you look afraid, they will sense weakness. If you look uncertain, they will push harder. But if you look unbothered, they will hesitate. You must embody the energy of someone who is not easily moved. Someone who does not need validation. Someone who knows their worth. This means practicing self-control. It means slowing down your breathing when they try to provoke you. It means keeping your face neutral when they insult you. It means walking away when necessary. It also means understanding that silence does not mean tolerance. You do not have to endure abuse. You do not have to keep toxic people in your life. You do not owe them access to you. Sometimes the strongest move is not just silence, but complete removal. You do not have to explain why you are done. You do not have to justify cutting them off. Marcus Aurelius said that if someone is toxic, let them go. The world is full of people, and you do not need to waste your time on those who drain your energy. So when a narcissist tries to get a reaction out of you, remind yourself of this. They have no power unless you give it to them. Your silence is your power. Your indifference is your freedom. And when you master both, no narcissist will ever control you again. Conclusion: take action now. A narcissist only has power if you give it to them. They manipulate, provoke, and distort reality, but none of it matters if you refuse to engage. You do not need their approval. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to prove anything. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is to live a good life. The best way to defeat a narcissist is to rise above their games. Now is the time to take control. Practice staying calm. Practice saying less. Practice using silence as your strongest response. The next time a narcissist tries to pull you into an argument, resist the urge to defend yourself. The next time they try to make you feel guilty, remind yourself that you do not owe anything. The next time they try to provoke you, stay indifferent. Think about the last time you dealt with a narcissist. How did you react? What will you do differently next time? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. Have you ever handled a narcissist this way? What was the result? No more second guessing. No more explaining. No more wasting your energy. It is time to reclaim your peace, your confidence, your power. You are stronger than their games. You are bigger than their manipulation. If you are ready to take control of your life, subscribe now. Learn how to apply Stoic wisdom in your life and protect your peace. It is time to reclaim your power.